Come on, Henry Jackson. Oh, yes. Glory, huh?
Every burden that I'm bearing every day.
Oh, yes.
I'm decided to make Jesus.
Look, he just couldn't take it anymore.
Oh yeah, I can
Help him,
understand that.
Lord. Look, he stopped. He's like,
I can understand that. Yeah.
Oh, he just broke down. I felt.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's a beautiful song. I thank God for it.
It is.
Thank you so much for rendering that to the world.
It
That's
is.
It has touched so many people. And it's amazing to see how what God can give you touch you. You know? Well, sometimes God gives you songs.
And like I said, if it doesn't touch you, it ain't touch anybody else, man. You stay in the car, we'll bring you anything you want. Wow. You got in that place that had to go in back doors and all of that. They sure would. James, you stay in the car, we'll bring you anything you want.
Any funny stories you remember? Why maybe while performing or being on the road and y'all kind of laugh and chuckle about
Oh,
some of
listen.
that?
Oh, I used to, one of the funniest things in the world, and what made it was so funny was, you know, when they would be singing, like in the Apollo, and, well, you know, Shirley, she gonna run down, jump off foot, maybe somebody would help her down, you know, and then somebody would help the other girls down, somebody would help her, but they never helped Tina. Tina was chicken. She was scared to death. She said she was too clumsy and she was gonna fall. And they what was so bad about it? They help everybody else down, but happened to Tina. And by them being singing and clapping and I'm playing and all, I would be laughing to the top of my lungs. Nobody could hear me because everything turned. We had planned to go back in August, but this new Delta variant kind of put the halt to those plans. So we opted on the side of caution and decided we'd wait till later.
So how do it feel not to be? Is this a relief for you?
No,
No, it's not.
no,
Okay.
it feels absolutely weird. I can, to me, Sunday is just not Sunday without church.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though we do virtual services and that's church of a sort, but it's not like the coming together of the people and the fellowship and the strength you draw from the people around you and that they draw from you. It's just, boy, you don't get that with the virtual service. That reminds me, once somebody asked me, and of course I thought it was kind of silly, but they asked me, who did I think was the best singer in the Caravans? I said there was no best. Each one was so individual that they could not be compared.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is no best. They were all equally good. You know, and so that's the way it is with the various genres of music. They're all equally good and have to be taken and appreciated in their own perspective.
But you know, and it's great to hear that perspective from you, and then to think about it, like you've actually had the chance, the opportunity to work on the stage with quartet artists, choirs, and groups on the same program.
Oh yeah.
How did they? So, did you see the audience kind of dwindle down, like when one group got finished singing, or like did they stay to hear everything? Like how do you?
Usually, unless it was a very long procession of groups, most of the time they would stay. Yeah, because see, back in those days, believe it or not, when members of one group got hoarse, others of us would jump in there and fill in the spot and keep going and like nothing had ever happened. We did that. We had that kind of camaraderie. You know, it didn't matter, you know, nobody's trying to out-sing the other person or anything like that. We felt it because we knew what it felt like to be short of a member, you know, or for reasons, if people get hoarse and various things happen and they couldn't be functional at that time, we would jump in there, take over and move right along like nothing ever happened. Yeah, we did that all the time. Even in the Apollo Theater, we would do that. Because that was hard work in the Apollo Theater.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought up the Apollo Theater. You shared a story with me. I think it's remarkable about Claire Ward. She told Tina that you couldn't leave without you doing the greatest story.
Yeah.
I want to hear. I want them to see that story.
But she did, and I don't know that I could ever have received a greater compliment than that. She insisted that before that week was out, I would have to do the greatest story or she would not ever talk to Tina again. She said that. And so finally, that last night of show, we opened up with the greatest story. She sent her musician over there to play it for me, so I was free to stand up and do it, which was kind of new to me because I was not used to stand up performing. I was used to doing it from the piano, but it was a great relief because I didn't have to worry about two things for a change. Yeah, and we did it, and it went over very well. It was very well received by the audience at the Apollo Theater.
I wish I was a fly on the wall. just a fly on the wall, just to say that I witnessed that. I know that had to be remarkable.
It was really good. Well, I was used to seeing how well the ladies were received. It never dawned on me how well I would or would not be received. Believe it or not, it was equally as much as a greater reception as the ladies got. It was really good.
Wow. Now, you talk about being received. Now, when you all got the opportunity to actually go on television, now, how was that experience for you? Or could you elaborate on, during that time, being on television, African Americans?
Well, being on television, it depended on television. Now, for example, in Chicago, Jubilee Showcase by Sid Ordauer was not too out of the norm because it was still predominantly black artists.
Okay.
You were just on television, but so you were basically doing the same things that you would normally do.
Right.
But when you got into venues where it was a national audience, and you had people walking, or for example, the time we did the Hootenanny show with Jack Linkletter, Art Linkletter's son, was a host, and we did that at Boston College in Boston. Now that was a real experience because that audience was predominantly white.
So the Coffee Table Magazine is my contribution to the world. It's a celebratory publication where we not only celebrate gospel music, but we embrace and salute the contributors of the genre.